a story of my kitten Alex that was poisoned by weight loss supplements. Um, so, we believe so much in these supplements, and of course, medically, it is important to have supplements, but you have to be careful and wary of the dangers of the supplements, and they can be poisonous. Um, so there is a very famous, I'm not going to mention any names or something, but it was a meal replacement supplement that has got a lot of nutritional content and so forth. And when I fed it to my, because my cat was very ill and recovering, and I rescued it, from the street. It was a kitten. It was guaranteed to die. It was screaming so much. I felt so sorry for it, and I was blind at the time. I could hear this cat scream, kitten, and no one seemed to bother. And eventually, I said, "Why is this kitten screaming so much?" And no one scared. Can you please bring it to me? I didn't want to take the responsibility. I thought someone will, pick it up or try to rescue it or try to help it or feed it or something. But no one was doing anything. And eventually, I took it and I took care of it. And it unfortunately, it died after, recovering, greatly. And I lost my kitten too because I offered the supplement to it. So I'm going to discuss that in this video today. And for those of you who like the contents of my videos, please also remember to like and subscribe to my channel. This will greatly help my channel to be able to reach out to more people. And also, if one optional extra, favor, if you could just drop a comment and share it with just one other person or one social media channel, I would highly appreciate that. And anyway, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for just spending your time to watch and listen to my videos. And for those who don't know me, my name is Osman. I'm a bio energy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. Amazing offer I have now is a 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, and delivered to you telepathically anywhere, instantly, globally, and pay only after you're satisfied. And that goes for all my treatment protocols. You only pay after delivery because I pray for results. If you're not satisfied, I don't need your money, right? And you can visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for my contact information. And I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. But the uniqueness of my skills is that I've studied under various masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures across the globe, from the Far East, the Middle East, and the West, including the scientific community. And to that end, I've taken the best of all the worlds and created my own unique protocols, which actually made them much quicker, easier, faster, easier, more time efficient and results oriented, mainly adapting them for the 21st century. But people don't have time; they need to do things quick, 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 right? And to that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. And my favorite protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation protocol, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com, and where you can get more information about my services. Please also remember that my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So let me explain more in detail about my kitten. His name is Alex. I named him Alex, and I never owned a cat, in my life. I'm usually, I own many dogs. Usually the people divide between dog lovers and cat lovers, and I don't know why that is the case. We should love both dogs and cats, right? But it's just that I never had one, and I was more inclined to having dog. Maybe I never think about it too deeply, you know, and I always felt that they're too independent, and they're not like very loving and coming to you. A dog is so loving, and you call it by its name, it responds. Cat doesn't respond to your name. It's not very love. It's like very independent. So possibly that could have been the reason. But I was sitting and I was working in a hotel, um, in a accommodation establishment, because not it was a hostel actually, but a very big one, reasonably big one with over 100 beds, right? And working in the reception mainly, blind, but I still needed to support myself, and I felt there's no excuse. And I had good communication skills and working on customer service, and I understood how that hotel operated, because I worked there before I lost my eyesight. And so they had a very high staff turnover, so I could control and monitor that, and help them if there's any problems, and how to troubleshoot, certain customer complaints, and how to do things and so forth, to assist the reception, or anyone, who needs. So overall, like an assistant manager, to that establishment, because the manager could not be there all the time, and I was like his right hand. And I heard this cat screaming, screaming, screaming nonstop. It was like, when no one was attending to it, I was wondering what is happening. And it was going on the whole day, and the next day I'm still hearing it. I said, no, man. No one is attending to this, and there's over 100 people, going past it. And they're not worried. And I mean, I'm not the only one hearing, everyone else is hearing, right? The whole public. But no one was bothered about it. So eventually I managed to find, get someone to go and just bring that kitten to me. And I didn't want to interfere, because I'm blind, and how am I going to take care of a cat, right? Being blind. But no, since no one was doing, I was forced to do it. I said, let me temporarily help the kitten until I find someone to take care of it. And I brought it, and now I asked the people to get a little bit of milk and let it to drink the milk. And then I started to ask, and they poured milk in a saucer and they put it there, and no one bothered. And I asked, is it drinking? And I still hear it crying and getting weaker and weaker. And I said, no, man, this thing, maybe it's not drinking, and I can't see whether it's drinking or not. I asked people, they said, no, no, it's just lying there, it's not drinking. The milk is still there. So it was too weak to even drink. So I sent someone to the pharmacy to buy a syringe. I took out the needle, I syringed the milk, then took the cat, keep it in my lap. I had to find the mouth and slowly put in, by syringe, milk into his mouth little by little. And as the time was going, every hour I was putting a little, 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 and then it started to get a voice again. I could hear its voice, and it was very comfortable on my lap, and I was afraid that it was dying. And I'm an energy healer. I was putting my energy as well, put my hand, on it, so that energy can transmit into it, from the warmth of my hand, and to help it to heal. And it was starting to heal and starting to get better. And then, you know, when I leave it aside in a box, it used to cry heavily. So, and when I carry it and keep it on my lap, it stops crying. And then I said, no, it's so sick. I don't want it to cry. I want it to be okay. So, and it felt so nice, warm, and fuzzy, probably full of fleas, was found in the street. But I didn't worry about the fleas. I mean, I loved it so much. I mean, who can not, even your worst enemy is dying, you're going to help, right? And you must know, no, I'm not naturally a cat lover, right? But I felt so sorry for it. And then, when I needed to go to rest, right, to sleep, it refused. Now I have to take it because I had my own room, in that place. And I took the box with me, because it'll cry, and no one, and I have to get up intermittently to feed a little bit of milk, right? And then it refused to sleep in the box and cry and cry. And then I said, okay, I have to sleep with it, because it keeps quiet only when I'm with it, right? Now I'm afraid to sleep with it, because it's so small. It's just a few days old kitten, right? That maybe I may turn and fall asleep and crush it to death. Oh, I had to sleep like a half sleep. next to me because it'll cry if I don't. And then I keep it near me, near my body, with my hand on it. Then only. So it used to sleep. It slept with me, and if I leave it, separately, it will cry. And then it started to get stronger and stronger, and it can walk up, and I used to keep it on my shoulder. It'll grip on with its claws, and it'll come and sit, and then I'll leave it aside, for it to start walking to get a bit of strength. It was starting to get strong, right, in few days, right. It was, I think, about a week or two, and then it was very weak and skinny. I said, no, I'm always having these supplements and so forth, right? And this meal replacement supplements, and it's full of vitamins and minerals. I was feeding it milk, and normally we're mixing it with. I used to mix it with water because I didn't. I didn't. I'm a vegan, and I don't usually take dairy, but it's got a lot of vitamins and nutrients, and it's supposed to be healthy. And I'm with that company having those products for a long time, right? Uh, I would say about 24 years, right? And really having a lot of the supplements. And then I said, okay, let me mix. I got the supplement to become stronger, right? It's already starting to gain strength for it to get fattened up. So I mixed it in milk, and I put it, and it was strong enough to drink on its own. So, um, but it got spoiled with me feeding it. It always wanted me to feed it, so I fed it a little, mixed with the supplement, and then I sometimes wanted to learn to become independent. I leave it for a short while in the box, right, in its box, and then when it starts crying, I bring it back, for it to learn to be independent. So I left it, I fed it, and I left him, I left Alex in the box. And then I wondered, how come Alex normally after a few minutes, like 15, 20 minutes, is max, right? He'll start crying and want to come back to me. How come he's not crying? Half an hour is going, 1 hour is going, and I go, I see he's silent, and I feel he's stiff. He's like flop, not moving. I lift his head, just bang, it's going down. So, oh my God, I call people, is he dead? I said, yes, he died, right? And I said, oh my God, I killed Alex. He was doing so, and even, the owner of the establishment, he came, say, hey, where's your kitten? I said, no, he died. He said, how did he die? He was getting very strong. He was so healthy. I don't understand. I didn't want to tell everyone I gave the supplement because people get afraid of the supplement, because I'm, advocating supplements all the time, and that it killed. So obviously people say it's for human consumption, not for cats. But just a little, if there's some type of something in it that's maybe not poisonous to humans and poisonous only for cats. That's that argument, right? Okay, but it goes further, right? The story goes further. I was so depressed. I said, okay, no, it's just, and I don't think anything negative on it. It's only for, because it's a kitten, you should not have given it, to the kitten. It's only for human consumption. It was my mistake, and I really, till today, I regret that. And I feel so sad for having lost Alex. It's my first and last and only kitten. And hopefully I'll be able to get another one, soon, because it really made me to love cats. Alex was the first time, and they so, so close to my heart, right? Now, what happened later on, a few months later, I left the, I decided to focus full time in just marketing my energy healing business and not assist with the hotel, because I was doing, like, trying to do both at the same time. Then I said, no, let me focus fully on my energy healing because I didn't want to divide my time. And then I took my own independent apartment, blind, right, and living alone, and working, because I used to love, I had my weights and doing my workouts and so forth, and doing my yoga postures and everything. And there is a posture in shoulder stand, a variation where you drop your knee to the one knee to the right knee to the forehead, while the other in shoulder stand, your left leg is straight, and you put your foot of your right foot on your left knee and bring your right knee down to your forehead, like squeezing your right side of your abdomen while you're in shoulder stand, like to squeeze the liver and to squeeze the pancreas, change it around, right? To hold that posture. And I felt when I did it on the right side, it was a heavy pain. It was sharp shooting pain going to the back. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Is it my liver collapsing? And I spoke to a friend of mine. He said, "No, Osman, you take too many supplements. I'm taking multivitamin, I'm taking nitric oxide supplement, I'm taking the omega 3 supplement, I'm taking the meal replacement shake, uh, and also taking selenium, I'm taking vitamin D, and I was taking vitamin B12, right?" And so he's saying, "No, you're taking too much of these supplements and meal replace." That's what, and I think maybe, the nitric oxide, because I didn't have a problem. I newly, started to have the nitric oxide supplement. And maybe that's so I stopped the nitric oxide. Then I see the pain started to reduce, you know. And then it was still slightly there when I cut out more of the supplements, and then I found the pain went away. So it can be too much supplement. And why is the pain in the liver? It means it's a poison. It's like the liver is being overloaded. It it's anything that is artificial, is perceived by the body as a toxin, right? And who is responsible for elimination and storage of toxin? The liver. And it was actually physically very sore. And when I cut out the supplements, the pain went away, right? And so then I related, hey, the same supplement killed Alex, right? And from then onwards, I stopped marketing. I was marketing it for 24 years, right? Really deep into it and believe in it very strongly. I said, how can I market something that I don't believe in? I no longer believe in, because I found Dr. Brooke Goldner online, and she says, especially when you have inflammatory conditions, inflammatory related illnesses, because my illness, my loss of eyes started with symptoms of glaucoma, which is inflammation. She said, no, no, don't take any supplements. Only you can take like vitamin B12 or vitamin D, right? That's the only two, you can take. But other than that, don't take multivitamins. Don't not need. She's not saying it's poisonous, but she says while you have an inflammatory condition, don't take that. But don't take the powders, especially. These are artificially created, and it is a negative for the healing of most illnesses that are inflammatory related. So I used to wonder how come, and then I wanted to add my, meal replacement powder to my smoothie, because we can add this to our smoothies and add it to the smoothie and have it, with my green smoothie. And then removed it, after experiencing that pain. And till today, eventually I stopped it completely. And I'm not even taking multivitamins or anything, because I'm having, raw cruciferous vegetables, which, a variety of them. I have broccoli, cabbage, raw broccoli, um, cauliflower, and also the leafy greens like spinach and chard and so forth. And I blend them, with the um, flax seeds, and I consume them, and I feel amazing improvement in my subtle life force energy, just from that, which is so positive, like with the yoga and with the any healing energy. I can feel that it dramatically doubled and made my yoga posture so much easier, that I was able to go into the posture so much easier, making my body more flexible. And I felt the flexibility increasing as my subtle life force energy increases. And definitely having that type of raw cruciferous diet was better for me. And then ever since then, I stopped taking any or all supplements, right? And I said, okay, I mean, I don't have any negative markers. I'm going to the doctors every 6 months doing my checks and so forth. They're not finding me deficient in any vitamins and so forth. And I said, why should I have a vitamin D supplement and go in the sun 15 to 20 minutes, actually 30 to 60 minutes. I sit out in the morning sun, before 10 a.m. And, whenever it's not raining. And most of the time, even if it's cloudy, I sit outside, right? To, absorb the the therapeutic rays of the sun, because it still comes through the cloud, because it doesn't look nighttime, it looks daytime, right? Even if it's cloudy. So there is sunlight, there is rays of the sun, direct rays of sun, and of course the direct oxygen, from outside. And to expose myself to it, instead of having the vitamin D supplement, instead of having multivitamins, I'm having the raw, which is very nutrient dense. Science says it's very nutrient dense, but they recommend the supplement for things that could be missing. But I'm not having any deficiency, so don't follow my advice. If your doctor say you're deficient in something, you must take that particular, just take what he recommends. Don't go and self-medicate, taking all the supplements on your own, multivitamin covering everything. No, go, maybe you're only short of zinc, or maybe you got a shortage of magnesium, and you can supplement, and then when it's fine again, no need to supplement, right? You can come off it. So only follow your doctor's orders. So the story of Alex taught me a very great lesson, and I'm into wellness from childhood. I was, my parents used to think something, I'm not normal, right? Because I used to love, healthy foods, and uh, you know uh, not calorie, but trying to advise on this and that, and even on vitamin E, vitamin E rich foods, and vitamin C rich foods. The citrus fruit, is amazing. It's one of the very affordable. The number one fruit is, of course, blueberries, but they're very expensive, right? uh, it's recommended to have, if you can have 1 cup of blueberries a day, man, it's a game changer, right? In terms of the nitric oxide and the antioxidant effect. Number one in the food chain, the best possible healing food on the planet is blueberries, right? And the whole berry family, right? Strawberries and raspberries and so forth, but blueberries specifically. And if you can have a cup a day, and even if you have it frozen, is better than um, nothing, because it's much cheaper, but it's better to have fresh, right? Berries. Second most nutritious food is the cruciferous vegetables. Then come the leafy greens. Then come the citrus fruit. Right. So in my smoothie, I usually put citrus fruit, oranges, and I put one orange and one lemon. That lemon gives that tang, and cuts the bitterness. Cauliflower is very bitter, raw cauliflower, and you put the lemon, it cuts the bitterness, and I normally put my orange and lemon with the peel. I blend it, I chop it up, and I blend it with the peel, because 50% of the vitamin C is in the peel, right? And why I'm mentioning all this is because there is natural way, so easy, right? Cruciferous veg, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, spinach. These are easily, and they not very expensive, and only like a pound of it. You put it in a blender, blend it, and add put a handful of flax seeds. You don't need vitamin. I don't have any vitamin deficiency. I'm vegan, right? I don't even have a vitamin B12 deficiency, right? There's no direct source of B12, but what people don't tell you is your body makes its own B12, right? And I'm not, I mean, I'm doing energy healing, right? And just my eyesight loss, and I explained why in several videos, in the previous video, why I lost it, through energy healing, right? And not from, my lifestyle or my diet. And I keep remembering Alex passed away, and from all the information I've given you, in terms of the own negative experience that I eventually had myself, personally, and I've stopped it completely. And after stopping it completely, now I would say um, probably about 8 months now that I've stopped it, I have no problem. I'm not feeling any deficiency. And after doing my blood work recently as well, there's no problem or deficiency in my nutrients, right? So I'm going okay, but I'm responsible. I'm adding science, and I'm not going overstepping the boundaries of the medical field, right? But if I will not take any of the supplements, or I'll be very slow to take some type of physical supplement, after this. And I hope that information helps you. And A shout out to Alex, if there's an afterlife, that he's there, and I'm thinking of him and remembering him. And uh, in his memory, I'm giving this information as well, but adding more information in support of what I'm saying, from my own personal perspective. This is not a scientific recommendation or a medical recommendation, just my personal opinions and anecdotal. And bottom line, also, before you make any major changes or start taking supplements, check with your doctor what you really need. Don't take something if you don't need it, right? Don't fix something if it ain't broke, right? I hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.